in the Avs' favor.
And you had to like the way the Avalanche acted when the game was over as far as in the dressing room. Practice yesterday, the skate this morning. This is a club that has confidence in itself. They're not overconfident, but they know right now they're starting to get a real good feel about themselves and this hockey club.
The goaltenders, the same. Patrick Waugh for the Avalanche. And Curtis Joseph, who will turn 31 tomorrow. And these guys will face each other for the 20th consecutive game featuring the Avalanche and Oilers. It's Waugh and Cuccio again. We are set to go. Peter Forsberg will take the face-off against Doug Waite. And our opening face-off brought to you by Miller Lite. Fraser drops the puck, and away we go with Game 4. As Adam Foote plays it ahead for Lemieux. And he'll tip it down the ice. Lemieux is on with Forsberg and Kamensky. As Roman Hammerlick tries to chip it out. Foote is there. Lemieux off the board. To the slot. Now back to Gusarov. And that shot hit a stick in front. And Kelly Buchberger gets it out, but not very far. And Foote in control again. It's Waite on for Edmonton at center between Bill Guerin and Buchberger. Now Lemieux trying to walk around Mironov. He goes wide. Sakic gets it side of the goal. Now the captain out high. Good feed down low to Kamensky. In front to Sakic. Chipped away. And back to center by the Oilers. The Oilers have really formulated their game plan for this one to stop the Avalanche in the first 10 minutes.
Up for the Avalanche, Patrick Waugh in goal, and he was not happy with his game in Game 3. He said that he was, when the Oilers scored their third goal, the one by Guerin, it got to him a little bit, and it led to him not being concentrating enough when they end up scoring their fourth one. At the other end, Joseph has got to find a way to stop the big guns. He has played pretty well, but he has got to be almost perfect if Edmonton is going to win this hockey game.
Now Crawford sends out Sakic between Deadmarsh and Jones against Marchand, Fraser, and McCammon. This is a line that played very well for Edmonton down the stretch. This line had 29 points in the last 3 weeks of the regular season, but they've been held to a couple of points in this series.
And John, you made a great point about the early parts of these hockey games. This is the fourth game. We've had 9 first 5 minutes and 1 first 5 minutes of the overtime. The Avalanche have outscored Edmonton 6-0 in those 50 minutes of hockey. So early in the games, early in periods, they've come out strong and taken it to Edmonton, taken control, putting Edmonton back on their heels.
They've also outscored them 4-0 in the first period overall in the first 3 games. And going back to the regular season, it's 10-1 Avalanche in every first period this year. Jones took a big hit. He gets up, and the puck played down the ice, and Yanni Nieneman, number 24, for the veteran Musil. Now to Dean McCammon. Sakic there. Kept it in for the moment. Now Deadmarsh trying to go wide on Musil. And Marchand the other way. He'll sweep it in. And Waugh sets it up for Aaron Miller as he played well. Miller negotiates his way to center. Far side, Fitzgerald can't get it. This is Fraser. In front, Rem Murray, a shot and a big save by Waugh as he got his shoulder on that drive by Rem Murray. And Yell lobs it back to center ice. It's Yell, Fitzgerald, and Lacroix for the Avalanche. And Waugh will hang on, and we get a whistle.
John, this is one of those hockey games where I think the first goal is more important to Edmonton than it is to Colorado. Colorado has a lot of confidence right now. Edmonton's on that line. They could really use that first goal, get this crowd going. The crowd isn't nearly as into this game as they were Game 3. And I think if Edmonton was to get the first goal, then the pace would pick up, their confidence would pick up. For the Avalanche, I think it's more a situation, well, the other team gets the first goal, we can come back. But this is the key moment for Edmonton in this hockey game.
It was rather interesting after Game 3 as they work on the pad of Patrick Waugh. Yesterday, the Oilers had an optional skate. Most of the players did take advantage of it, while the Avalanche had about 22 of 25 guys on the ice. Forsberg did not skate, neither did Keith Jones nor Stefan Yell, but the Avalanche were a very energized bunch, as you would suspect after that third game.
Yeah, they played so well. And, John, you can see we got a graphic here to show you how they've dominated this series. You look at the numbers. The Avalanche have led for 124 minutes this game. It's been tied 66. Edmonton's only been ahead in this series so far after 3 games and an overtime for 5 minutes and 9 seconds.
And that came at the end of game 1 when they scored 3 goals in 3:49. And the faceoff is flipped over the boards. Again, Fitzgerald on the faceoff for Edmonton. Rem Murray between Greer and Zelepukin. They moved Greer to this line. Only one real change for Edmonton. Fitzgerald against Rem Murray. Early in game 4, no score. And Fitzgerald wins the faceoff, trying to clear it ahead. Yell does. And back for Edmonton is Drake Berehowski. And he'll set up shop behind his goal. On the boards to Greer and play to center. Ozelich, he was checked there by Rem Murray. And a shot is handled by Waugh. And then the Oiler player, Zelepukin, went into the goal. The fans yelled. And we have a face-off.
Well, the second time this line for Edmonton with Murray, Zelepukin, and Greer has had a good scoring chance. Patrick seemed to lose it for a second. It looked like he wanted to catch it and play it, and then all of a sudden he couldn't find it. He goes for the face-off.
The only lineup change for the Avalanche. Jari Kurri, a healthy scratch, and John Clem is back in the lineup. He played in game 1. The Oilers have made one lineup change. Greg DeVries is back in. He played in game 2. And Bobby Dallas, who had the flu and played only 4 minutes of that third game, is scratched tonight.
Patrick Waugh is again looking at that left skate. You see for the Avalanche how consistent they have been. They have had a goal in each of the last 9 periods. The only period they have not scored in is the first period of game 1.
Now Guerin on the faceoff against Forsberg. In a scoreless game, Waite gets it for Edmonton. He drops it back, but Mironov was not on the line. And it comes to center, played back in offside by Waite. Peter, would all these stoppages early help the Avalanche?
I don't think they're going to hurt them by any stretch, because Edmonton, you know, is going to want to come out with a lot of emotion. Led by their captain, Kelly Buchberger. He was on the ice for the overtime goal and fell down. Both he and Lindbergh both fell down, led to an Avalanche 3-on-2. And when the game was over, he really pointed to himself as being the GOAT of that hockey game.
Hammerlick lifts it in, and the Avalanche go back. Waugh up on the wing. Lemieux takes out his man. That was Hammerlick. And Forsberg near the line, and it's offside as he was pushed down and actually was in ahead of the puck. And we get another whistle. So far, 2 shots on goal, both by Edmonton. Doing some scoreboard watching early. How about Ottawa? Up 2-1 in the series against New Jersey and leading in game 4, 3-1 in the second period.
That place will just be hopping right now. As the big thing happened in the paper today, I could not believe the coach of the New Jersey Devils comes out and said this team doesn't deserve, I'm talking about Ottawa, to be ahead in this series. They haven't played that. We're not playing our way. I mean, showing absolutely no respect for the Ottawa Senators, and you know that was on the chalkboard, and the guys were looking at that.
John Clem keeps it in. Now Fitzgerald for Warren Reichel. A shot right on goal. That's saved by Joseph. Now Reichel to the corner. He nearly had the winner in overtime the other night. And the Oilers chip it down the ice. No icing here. And Ozelich back for Colorado. He gets away from the forechecking of Lindgren. And now to center for Fitzgerald. 3:35 gone in the opening period. No scoring. And Lindgren at his own line just hands it right to Gusarov. Now ahead for Kaminsky, in with Forsberg and Lemieux. Forsberg looks to center, he does, but Lemieux couldn't get there. And Guerin now for the Oilers. What a series he's having with 4 goals. Trying to cut around foot, but Adam did a good job to take him out. And Lemieux on the board. He's pushed by Buchberger, but the puck comes free to Kaminsky. Looks for the late man. Now foot is there, but the Oilers, Guerin has it. On to Buchberg. Oh, he's run over by Forsberg. What a blistering hit there by Forsberg. Now Guerin a shot and a save by Waugh, and then Buchberger ran into Waugh, and I think he's going to get a penalty.
Well, Buchberger went up over Waugh, but I think behind the play, it maybe go to Dougie Weight, John. Forsberg came in and pushed Buchberger away. And I think in behind the play, number 39 may have got a little extra slash.
Corbet, who did skate today, and Heward for Edmonton. Oilers, oh, great chance! Short-handed, and Marchand couldn't get it by Forsberg. Power play for the Avalanche. Their first of the evening into Ozolinsh. Left it for Kaminsky, and that wrist shot was up high. Sakic kept it in. Now Forsberg had it roll off his stick, and Marchand looking for another break. Now Sakic, the Avalanche in this series, 5 of 18 in the power play. 27.8%. They were 2 for 4 in game 3. This is Lemieux, and that shot from just inside the line is tipped away by Joseph with his right arm.
Well, for the Avalanche in this series, you look at the breakdown of the scoring and how it's gone. It's been their stars that have been the guys, John. They've actually only had 8 guys have scoring points in this series. That's the fewest of any team, any of the 16 playoff teams. Pittsburgh has 8, they have 8. For example, Detroit has 16 guys who have picked up a point. So for the Avalanche, it has really been the top guns that have come up with big series so far.
And only 5 guys have scored goals for the Avalanche in this series. Ed Marsh will take the face-off. 1:19 to go in the power play. He gets it back on the line to Sakic, on to Ozolinsh. Lets it go. Rebound in front. Cleared but not out. Ozolinsh again. He's had a point in every game in the series. Into Lacroix. Good work to get it down low for Jones. Canceled by Buchberger. Jones trying to get it free. He does. Centers it, but Buchberger is there. And the Oilers will kill some time as they ice it. 50 left in Doug Waite's slashing minor. No score first period. Here comes Sakic. Joseph trying to stop it. He does. Nienema. And he'll clear it around the board. And gets it to center. Now taken again by the Oilers. And Musia will flip it in. Marchand was looking for the loose puck. He's been on his skates tonight. Forsberg at his own line. Beats one man. Trying to work it in. Now Forsberg still with it, but cleared away by Edmonton. And grabbed by Kaminsky. 15 to go in the power play. Here's Kaminsky into the Oilers zone. And that pass was too far for Reichel and dumped down the ice again. Lefebvre back in his own zone. Then played to center. Waite has returned, so the Oilers have killed it off. And they did a good job. Yui Krupp in this scoreless game. Gets away from Waite, but now Mironov at the red line. Trying to walk in. And he ducks under a check, and now Mironov splashes Krupp. And Krupp goes back at Mironov, and we have a pile-up.
Well, that sort of started out to be an innocent sort of play. But Mironov took a real hack at Krupp, and he just exploded. Again, these are the kind of things, John, that so far in this series have not worked in the favor of Edmonton. I think last year when they played Dallas, they played with a lot of emotion. There were a lot of these kind of situations, but they were scoring the big goal in the power play, and Dallas wasn't, and that kept the series going. I think so far it's been a series where the Avalanche have got the big goal in the power play, but that's so far. And I think that's why Ron Lowe talked about controlling it, trying to play more 5-on-5 hockey if they can. Remember, the Avalanche 2 game-winning goals have come 1 shorthanded, 1 4-on-4 in overtime last game.
Well, Krupp gets a roughie minor, Mironov a slashing minor at 7:40. We'll go 4-on-4, and of course that's how the Avs got the winner the other night. And so far in this series, 4-on-4, the Avalanche have outscored the Oilers 2-1.
As we look at the breakdown of goals that they've been scored in this series so far, you see 5-on-5, it's been even, John. But then you go down to 5-on-4, the Avalanche have had the advantage 4-on-4, 4-on-5. So, you know, it's the kind of thing that those specialty clubs, and that's where you have your star players. We get back to that again. The star players have been better early for the Avalanche.
So 4-on-4 here in the scoreless game as Guerin gets it for Edmonton. He's up front with Waite. Guerin walks in, and Kucherov got a stick over. That is what he does so well, as the coaches like to call it, a smart stick.
Yeah, he gets his stick in that shooting lanes, the passing lanes. And again, you know, sometimes it looks like he's watching the play, but he's analyzing. Now right here, now watch his stick come out the last second. A lot of goaltenders don't like the defensemen to do that because they're going to have deflections. Kucherov is smart enough to get a good piece of the puck. So he'll either push it in the corner or knock it out of the rink.
Of course, the Avalanche have led 2-0 in every game in this series, and the Oilers have scored the next goal to make it 2-1 in all 3 games. And they know, the Oilers do, that they can't fall behind 2-0 in this one.
Because sooner or later, Patrick's going to put the clamps down, and the Avalanche are going to get that 3rd goal.
No goal scoring so far in this one. 7 minutes gone in the first. Dedmar's with it. Up front with Sakic. Dedmar squeezed out by Berehowski. Sakic in on Guerin. Sakic trying to kick it free. He does to Dedmar's. Dedmar's in behind the net. Left it for Sakic. He sweeps it over to Kucherov. And the centering pass. Waite was right there for Edmonton. And here comes Guerin. They don't let one fly from outside the line, and Waugh made the pad save with a minute to go in the 4-on-4 situation. And put back for the Avalanche. Chased behind the goal by McCammon. Now Kamensky to Kucherov. Up the middle, kept in by DeVries. And Waugh sets it up for Kucherov. He'll flip it on to Kamensky. Again, he can't clear it. Now McCammon down low. And an Oiler player, DeVries, was upended. And Adam Foote will walk it back to center ice. Now for Forsberg. He beats the guy at his own line, and here he comes. Forsberg stops. Fires one off a leg and ends up in behind the Edmonton goal. 20 to go in the 4-on-4. And Marchand lost the handle, and the puck ahead to Forsberg with Kamensky. Forsberg slows it down. Now works in on Hammerlick. Tried to center one, and it was picked away by the Oiler player, Hammerlick, who gets the loose puck. McCammon is loose at center for Edmonton. Trying to cut around John Clem, and Clem did a good job. And the penalized players are back on. And we're back to full strength. Oakland's trying to work it away. Still no score. 9 minutes gone in the opening period. And Lacroix gets it to the Edmonton line. Berehowski turns and just gets it over the head of Tom Fitzgerald. Here's Aaron Miller. Long dump in. Joseph steers it wide. And Mike Greer's own line. As the pace has picked up a bit in the last 5 minutes.
There's been a good flow to it, which has led to some good open ice hits.
Buffet back at his own line to the Edmonton line, where the veteran Musil has it. Greer tipped it off the boards to center. The shots in the game, 5-2 Edmonton. Patrick in the corner. Flips one to Sakic. He gets it by one guy. Now played to center by Jones, and here comes Sakic. In with Odgers. And it's offside as Odgers was just ahead of the play on right wing. No score midway through the first period.
In game 1, 2 in game 2, and double that. Game 4 in game 3.
He actually had 3 in game 2 until they took one away. He'll settle for 7, although he had a great comment yesterday at the press conference when asked about his confidence. He said, yeah, I've got a lot of confidence right now, but I don't know how long it'll last. That's the kind of guy he is.
And that's why it's interesting when he plays with Krupp. Krupp is the kind of guy that'll talk to him a lot, get on him and tell him to do this and that. And I think, you know, right now you're seeing the confidence, and Krupp helped bring that out in Sandis Ozolinsh.
And Patrick was working on his equipment again, and Kerry Fraser comes down, and I believe he gave him a warning. Again, he has worked on his left pad or skate twice in this first period. 10:05 to go in the first. No score. Waugh plays one to the far side. Tony Herkus, number 20 there. Back to Barahowski at drive, and that was tipped away. And John Clem gets it out. The Oilers could have played it, so there's no icing here. And tipped to center by Ryan Smith. Ozolinsh on to Clem. Into the zone, a shot, and Joseph made the glove save. And now Reichel and Barahowski get their sticks up a bit.
Well, these two clubs, I mean, they played each other during the regular season. They played each other last year in the playoffs. And right now what you're doing, you're not going to bluff anybody or find out something new about somebody's toughness, John. What you're trying to do is draw somebody into a bad penalty. Now, we saw it happen last night, maybe a little bit in Los Angeles. Jeff Courtnall got the Los Angeles Kings upset after the Kings were ahead 3-0. O'Donnell takes a 5-minute major for the Kings. St. Louis scores 4 goals to win that hockey game in one of the strangest games you're ever going to see.
I talked to a lot of people today, including Ron Lowe, former goalie, and got their thoughts on the call against Courtnall, who did get a minor. And Lowe thought it was the right call. Other people said Courtnall should have had at least 4, maybe 5. So you have a lot of different opinions about that controversial play.
It's interesting. The coaches seem to feel that discipline was not shown by O'Donnell, and he is the one that should have waited until later in the game.
You know, Peter, I saw a game earlier this year between the Blues and Los Angeles Kings. The Kings were leading the game. The Blues came back to tie it, and Courtnall did exactly that to O'Donnell. He sucked him into a penalty. O'Donnell punched Courtnall. The Blues scored and won by 4 goals. So it happened before.
Yeah.
And don't think Courtnall didn't know that. 9 to go in the first period. No score here. Mironov trying to work in. Broken up. Now Lemieux gets it for Sakic. And a pass off the board. Sakic trying to work in on right wing, but the pass came from the Avalanche zone, so it's a 2-line offside pass. 0-0 here in game 4.
Machines, computers, what are you doing?
I'm watching the game. I'm just getting ready here to come back there. Actually get action here now. Watch the game, track scoring chances, track face-offs, any tendencies that I may see that I can relate to the bench or Mike Foligno upstairs.
And they'll look at these videotapes during the break between periods.
Between periods, we always watch the goals, and we'll watch the power play and penalty kill tapes. So I know where things are. I cue it up, and the reason we have 2 game tapes is so we can get to things quicker.
Well, we don't want to distract you. Have a fun period.
Thanks, Tom.
Paul Fixter, the video coach, down low. Let's go back upstairs to John and Peter.
All right, Tom, thank you very much, and thanks to Paul for allowing us into his private sanctuary. He does a great job down there. 8 minutes to go. In the first period, no score. Now Yell's loose at center. Yell goes wide on Nienema. Trying to center. Still with it. Cycles it back behind the goal, but grabbed by Todd Marchant. And he gets the puck to center. Now for the rookie, Fraser. Rolls it in on Waugh, who slams it off the far boards to center. And Murray right there to put it back in behind Waugh. Zelapukin trying to do some forechecking. And he broke his stick. Murray now for the Oilers. Can't get a handle on it. The Avalanche trying to clear it, and they do. Now at center, it's Eric Lacroix. Drives it down the ice. Berehowski. Oh, he was leveled behind the goal by Lacroix. And chipped by Krupp and down the ice. No icing. I don't think the Avalanche are going to take any chances on potential icings tonight.
They learned their lesson last game when they let up for a second. It ended up in the game-tying goal.
Now Forsberg into Lemieux. Right in, and he put that one wide. Oh, what a chance there. The best of the game. And Greer was knocked down, but no call from Kerry Fraser. Here's Kamensky. Checked on the play and dumped in by Greer. And he looks back at Fraser. Lemieux can't clear it, and you steal a shot. That was wide. And taken by Kamensky with 6.5 to play in the first period. 0-0. Lemieux had the Avs' best chance by a mile and just missed. Now Jeff Odgers on the ice. Slams it in behind the goal. Joseph stops it and shovels it on for Yanni Niinema. Lobbed high to center for the captain, Buchberger. But they rule that he knocked it out of midair with a high stick and a whistle.
Look at our Gatorade playoff brackets in the Western Conference. San Jose won last game. They're looking at trying to even up their series. St. Louis is the only one there. On the other side, unbelievable. Jersey down 2-1 in that series. Washington, Montreal, Buffalo, all with 2-1 leads.
In Game 3, the Avalanche obviously had a 2-goal lead on 3 occasions. They felt all along they should have won the game, which they did thanks to that guy. The scoring chances in Game 3 were 19-8 for the Avalanche.
But again, you got to credit Edmonton, John. They have not disappeared once in their series. At times when it looked like, you know, the Avalanche had taken control, their good players are playing well, they have fought back, and they are not going to quit. It's not going to be an easy series by any stretch.
Here's Ryan Smith. He'll roll the puck in behind Waugh. Gets it on the glass. Reichel now ahead to Sackett. With Odgers. Sackett trying to make a move. And lost it in his skates. DeVries tipped it away. And Lindgren shovels it down the ice. And Waugh again out of the goal. He's been a bit more active in the first period tonight than he has in the first 3 games of the series. Now Herkis in the corner. He gets it for Ryan Smith. Tipped away by Ozelinch. And back to center it goes. Ozelinch off the board. Sakic ahead to Odgers. And in on Curtis Joseph. Berehowski back for Edmonton. To Ryan Smith. He's pounded by Lefebvre. Now tipped into the zone. Greer gets it. What's a wrister go, and a save by Waugh with his blocker. On the board, Mironov, and his shot was blocked by Yell, and it caroms to center. 5:05 to go in the scoreless first period. Here is Lefebvre backpedaling. And off the glass. Mironov chips it ahead to Greer, hit the referee. And the fans don't like that. Now Eric Lacroix gets it in.
This line of Lacroix, Yell, and Fitzgerald has been very good, very solid the last couple of games.
Here's Greer to a sharp angle. Looks to center it. Fans on it. And tipped away by Adam Foote. Now to the Oilers, Zelapukin. He's covered by Sackett. Zelapukin cycles it back of the goal to Todd Marchand. Taken out by Gusarov. He leaves it to Zelapukin. Fraser in front. Gets it. And a shot right on. A save by Waugh. Fraser did not get along on it, but was in a very good scoring position. An icing call.
Just a little bit of miscommunication between the Avalanche defenseman and the forward. Freed up Fraser in front of the net.
You can only survive on what you find in the forest. We'll meet in 5 days here. Good luck.
Sixth game.
And he's worked his way up into the second line with McCammon and Marchand. They were supposed to be a big part of this series so far. And aside from McCammon's game winner, or the second goal, pardon me, in that first game, they really have not been a factor yet.
Well, the team store is having a hat trick sale. You can buy any 3 adjustable hats for $30 at the team store locations at Cherry Creek Mall or the 16th Street Mall.
For the Avalanche, they know that the Edmonton Oilers are going to have a Game 7 mentality on this game. Edmonton knows the likelihood of losing this game and coming back and winning the series is very small. So they're going to play desperate hockey. You're going to see their bench shortened. You're going to see Ron Lowe going with the people that are playing well in tonight's game.
It is Wade, Buchberger, and Guerin against Forsberg, Lemieux, and Kamensky. Just under 4 minutes to play in this first period. Forsberg gets the faceoff, and Foote shoots it down the ice, and this will be another icing call against the Avalanche.
Well, you look back and you saw just how important last year. 7 series were 1-1 going to Game 3. The winner of Game 3 went on to win all 7 series. That's how important that third game can be. It seemed to swing the momentum. And Edmonton, Mark Crawford knows just how big a goal that was. Joe Sakic got in overtime.
Peter, as we know, just by a couple of twists of fate, this series could be 3-0 Avalanche, 2-1 Edmonton. Right now it's 2-1 Avalanche, as we know, but a fine line between a lot of different scenarios.
It's one save, one play. But so often you look at that one save, one play coming from your superstars.
Well, Foote, a big hit at center ice. He just crunched Doug Weight. Buchberger centers it. But Kamensky was there to tip it away, and here comes Lemieux with Forsberg and Foote. Lemieux carries into Forsberg. Chips it to himself. And knocked away by Roman Hammerlick. A good play by the Oiler defenseman. And Foote gets it in the corner for Alexei Gusarov. Lemieux spins and clears it to center ice. Now taken by Stefan Yell. He'll wrist it down the ice. Joseph hugs the boards and stops it for Boris Mironov. He's played well. He has a point in every game in the series. Flipped ahead off Fraser to center. And Aaron Miller right there for the Avalanche. Fitzgerald squeezed to the boards by Musil. And Mironov lobs it ahead to center for Fraser. In for Marchand. Lets it go, and a save by Waugh. And a penalty called. I think Fraser was upended, and the first power play for Edmonton.
Well, for Edmonton, they won Game 1 with speed to the outside. They're trying to generate that again here tonight. And what I mean by speed to the outside, they're wingers going wide and trying to just pick the puck up off the boards, area passes, skate into them, and try to create some scoring chances off the quick shot from the wing. There's the save by Wall, and I think you'll see just the top of the screen, the Edmonton player driving toward the net is pulled down. And now we get, John, 2:36 to go. Edmonton's had a good period. They've skated well. They've outshot the Avalanche 9-4. They get their first power play.
So Ron Lowe's club gets its first power play in the series, 4 for 23. They were 1 for 6 in Game 3. And Guerin has 3 of the 4 power play goals in the series. So a great chance for Edmonton to score their first period goal of this series. But the Avalanche win the draw, and Forsberg will dump it down the ice. He is on with Sakic, Foote, and Gusarov. Yanni Niedema now for the Oilers. On to Dean McCammon. Oh, and he chipped it, and man was upended by Foote. And Fraser won't make a call, but Foote might be a bit lucky as the whistle had gone, and very subtly he got his leg or rear end into the Oiler player.
His rear, he got that tiny hiney of his into that guy. Yeah, he got away with it. He may have got away with it, but it was interesting. Fraser came over, John, and pointed to his whistle. Now, what he meant by that, I don't know. These referees know how important these games are. And again, just for fans may not know this, but the referees are judged after every game. And as each round goes along, the number of referees that work the series are cut down. So if they perform well, they move on.
If they don't,
they don't.
Here's Doug Waite on this Edmonton power play in front. They score! What a pass to Ryan Smith, a power play goal. And it's 1-0 Edmonton.
By Dougie Waite. And John, for the Edmonton Oilers, this couldn't have been a better goal. They got a power play goal. They got the first goal of the game in the first period by Ryan Smith, who's been struggling to score goals. So they had about 5 things go right for them on that one goal.
So Ryan Smith gets his first, and it's 1-0. Forsberg trying to work in. Great pass. Oh, Lemieux just missed. Now to Forsberg, he scores! Peter Forsberg, what a goal! And the Avalanche come right back and tie the game at 1.
What a play by Forsberg at the blue line. A 2-on-2 that created a great scoring chance for Lemieux, who almost scored in the first one. But Forsberg has to do a great job on a tough angle. And again, we get talking about a 2-on-2. Forsberg creates a chance. Now watch the right side of your screen. The puck is going to go through, and Forsberg is able to get to the puck first. And the Avalanche, what a huge goal. Right after the momentum of the power play goal by Smith, they take it right back.
17 seconds after Smith's goal, Forsberg scores from Lemieux and Kamensky, and it's 1-1. And Krug dumps it in. The Oiler goal, Smith from Waite and Hammerlick on the power play. That's 17:52, but Forsberg got it back at 18:09. And another call, an interference call, I believe.
On Jones,
and we might have 2 calls. I thought he looked at a couple of guys, but it looks like Jones for sure.
I think obstruction holding on Jones. And that's the great thing about playoff hockey. Every little play seems to mean so much. Now, right after the Avalanche come up with a big goal, they take a penalty. Now Edmonton has a chance to do it again and get this crowd going and maybe go in with the lead into the first intermission. Get another look at it. You'll see from this angle just how little Peter Forsberg had to shoot at. Oh, that hit the paddle of Joseph's stick.
Or did it hit the leg of Hammerlick?
Somebody.
It hit something.
And deflected in the upper part of the net. But you're right, John. Penalty to both teams.
Well, McCammon goes off, along with Jones. He got a slashy minor, did McCammon. Jones for Hookie, 4-on-4 again in a 1-1 game. As Deadmarsh works it in, 3-on-2. He goes wide on Nienema, cuts in front, and the puck was loose. Sakic couldn't get it. And Nienema heads the other way for the Oilers. And shovels the puck in, but Krupp will get there first for Colorado in this 4-on-4 situation in the final minute of the first period. Hammerlick, the lone man back for Edmonton. Chipped away at center. Hammerlick gets it again, now for Guerin. He shovels it in. And Aaron Miller is right there, now ahead for Forsberg, who got the Avs goal to make it 1-1. He was knocked down by Doug Waite. Maybe a knee, and Forsberg a bit slow in getting up. And he stays on the ice. That's a good sign. Here comes Waite. Forsberg had him lined up to Guerin. Flop shot, and that was wide. Oh, a blast there by Guerin. 2:15 to go in the period. Now Aaron Miller down the ice. Hooked by Mironov. Miller lets it go to the corner. Lemieux is checked by Waite. Lemieux centers it. But Miller can't get his paws on the puck. And Guerin to center with 2 to go. And Waugh gloves it, and that will do it. A very entertaining, well-played first period.
Well, you're right, John. I watched Ford. Also, our first shutout of this playoff year. After a record-breaking number during the regular season, we get our first one. We're already into Game 4 of the series.
Meanwhile, McCammon and Jones have 29 seconds left in their minors, so we begin the second 4-on-4. And underway with period 2. Sakic up front with Deadmarsh. He leaves it for Troop. Now on to Ozelinch. He'll tip it into the zone. Nienema back with Musil. Turnover in the corner. Sakic gets it. Oh, to Deadmarsh in front. He was open, but couldn't knock it down. And taken by Musil on the far side. Nienema. Troop in from the right point. Deadmarsh tips it toward the goal. And Joseph snares it with the glove. And we get a whistle.
Well, Joe Sakic was the hero. Game 2 with a game winner and Game 3. He picked up his 9th game-winning goal. 8 of those goals, those game winners, have come since the Avalanche moved from Quebec to Colorado.
And with 35 playoff goals, he now is the all-time leader in this franchise, one ahead of Michel Goulet with that last goal. Goulet, of course, the director of player personnel, who is on the club and is getting set to go do some more scouting over at the World Championships.
Of course, the Avalanche, we haven't talked about it in a while, but you don't talk about it much in the playoffs, but they have those 4 first-round picks that in June draft will be very interesting.
Here's Komensky in his own zone to Gusarov, right in front of the goal. And Lemieux chips it off the boards to the Edmonton line. Back at full strength. In a 1-1 game, Boris Mironov turns away from some checking, but can't clear it. Lemieux in front to Komensky, but Mironov blocked it. Now Forsberg on it to Komensky. In front to Lemieux, and it was just behind him. And the Oilers get the puck to center. Buchberger lobs it in. And Waugh sets it up for Foote ahead to Lemieux. Now for Forsberg. Surrounded by 3 players. And the shot is over the goal. Now hits the back of the goal. And the Oilers recover it. Here comes Bill Guerin. 4 Avalanche players are back, so Guerin dumps it in. And Lefebvre, a big hit, knocking Marchand off the puck. And now Lefebvre takes over and heads behind the goal. McCammon trying to pick it away from him, but he gets it out. And Odgers forces one to the Oiler line. Yell trying to find it. And it's offside, I believe, or it is ruled frozen along the boards.
I think Kerry Fraser saw that his linesman was tied up. Blow the whistle. Don't get him involved with the play. And there's Billy Guerin. And Billy Guerin with 4 goals leads all Edmonton Oilers players. Of course, he came over from the New Jersey Devils. The Devils have totaled 5 goals in their first 3 games, and they're getting beat tonight 4-1. So they've only got 6 goals in 4 games. They wouldn't mind having 4 goals from Billy Guerin in their lineup.
And Guerin in New Jersey won a cup, played in 56 playoff games, and scored only 2 goals with the Devils in his playoff time there.
And he wanted out. Of course, Edmonton traded Jason Arnott, the big, talented winger that really has not lived up to the expectations of being a first-round pick here in Edmonton.
Check that. He scored 2 power play goals in his time and has 3 in the series. Now Zelepukin down the board. And his centering pass tipped away by Krupp. Berehowski pinches in. Now back of the goal for Zelepukin. In a 1-1 contest. Cycles it down low for Greer. And he's run off the puck by Krupp. A couple of giant men there, and Greer and Krupp. And it goes back to the corner again. Krupp takes Zelepukin down. Now Greer leaves it for Zelepukin. In front, but John Clem right there, and he'll take an icing call.
Well, there's a good, hard defensive shift for Krupp. And all season long, he's been the Avalanche's, I think, most consistent defenseman. You look at his numbers, plus 21 during the regular season. He's plus 5 so far in these playoffs. And, you know, you just look at it and you appreciate the fact that the Avalanche did not have him for their playoff run last year. And what a difference it is to have him, because you have somebody that can handle a guy like Greer. You don't just have to depend on Adam Foote for that kind of workload, because Greer is a big man, 6'1", about 230 pounds, and can skate.
Face-off between McCammond and Sakic in a 1-1 game. And Sakic wins the draw. He won 6 of 8 face-offs in the first period, as the Avalanche continue to have their way in the face-off circle. Now Keith Jones gets it into Sakic. Stops and gets around a man. Now to Miller. And that shot is right on goal. And a save by Joseph. Now it comes in front. Knocked away to the corner. Sakic again for Deadmarsh. Shoots. And a save by Joseph with his arm. What a save there on Deadmarsh.
Well, that's the kind of save that these fans here in Edmonton got used to last year. And those are the kind of saves he's going to have to make if this club is going to win this hockey game.
Boards. Down low to Kamensky. Looks in front. Chased to the corner by Hammerlick. Run down now for Forsberg in front. Left point to Gusarov. Fires one. That was wide. Now Kamensky on the wing. Back on the line to Adam Foote. Foote lets it go. Tipped by Lemieux. Just wide. Forsberg again. Great job to keep it in. Now tipped away by Doug Waite. Into Buchberger. The drive and a save by Waugh. And they pile up behind the Avs goal.
Good work by the Avs down at their end, and then a quick break by the Edmonton Oilers. You know, Kamensky, who now, with that assist in the first period, he's got 5 points so far in the playoffs, as a big line for the Avalanche, who you knew had to play well. Have played very well so far. Interesting how they have their roles, isn't it, John? Kamensky, he darts in and out. Forsberg's got to carry the puck. Lemieux takes a shot from the point, go to the front of the net. They really complement each other well as line mates.
That was a great tip by Lemieux from the slot. It just went over the Oiler goal. .15 to go in the second. It's 1-1 here in Game 4. The Avs laid the best-of-7 series 2-1. Game 5 set for Thursday at Big Mac in Denver. Krupp knocks it down. Now to Yell into the zone. That's offside, as Fitzgerald was just in the zone, tried to hop his way out of there in time, but just failed to do it.
Now, John, as there always will be in a playoff series, there's going to be a little controversy. And in the papers, one of the controversial situations was the Edmonton fans here booing the U.S. national anthem, which is very interesting. But then also benchgate, as it's been called up here. The Edmonton Oilers, somehow the bench for the Avalanche, there's been some work done on it before the first game. The players were saying they didn't even notice until they looked down. They saw some of the handiwork of the trainers.
Zillapookin gets it off the boards, fires it in. Mike Greer. Oh, he got there first, but Lacroix got back and tipped it away. It's still 1-1. Now Waugh back with the goal. On the wing, Murray cuts it off. To Greer. Looks to center. Ozolinsh knocked it away. Now Greer again. Pushed down. A penalty coming up on Ozolinsh. Here's Zillapookin. Looking to center it. Yell runs him to the corner. Joseph is off for an extra man, and now they say the Avalanche touch it. And Ozolinsh will go for 2.
That's a tough job for Ozolinsh. He doesn't have the size of Krupp. But, you know, John, these are the situations that coaches look for. Ron Lowe, remember, here in Edmonton gets the last change, so maybe he wants to get a guy like Greer, who's so big and strong, out there against Ozolinsh. Not that Ozolinsh isn't strong, but he's giving away probably 35 pounds to Greer.
4:35. The time of the minor. Edmonton on the power play in this game, 1 for 1, and 5 of 24 in the series. Remember, the Oilers had more power play goals and more power play chances than any club in the NHL this year. They had 77 power play goals. As Mironov goes back on defense with Hammerlick. Up front, Karen, Smith, and Waite. Smith scored the power play goal in the first. And Waugh gets it ahead, chipped out by Sakic, and here comes Adam Foote. In with Forsberg. Foote to the slot. Now Gusarov is in there. Lets it go, and a save by Joseph. And now Hammerlick takes over for the Oilers. Long feed to Smith. In deep it goes. Forsberg, the first man back there. And a great play to get it to Gusarov, and he'll whack it down the ice. 45 gone in the power play. Here comes Hammerlick. Lifts it into the corner. Smith in there first. Trying to steer away from Lefebvre. Now Waite on the line to Berehowski. Back to Waite. Crop shot. That was wide by 2 feet. Hammerlick gets it to Berehowski. Hammerlick into the corner. Fraser, the rookie. Now lets it go, and that was off a stick and over the goal. 45 to go in Ozolinch's minor. Wait again. Fraser, a shot. And Waugh read that one and made the save. Ryan Smith to the corner. Now Fraser over to Doug Waite. In front. Oh, Hammerlick was in from the left point. It bobbled over his stick. Now Fraser down low. Smith over to Waite. Back on the line to Berehowski. Waite again. Berehowski a drive. Saved by Waugh. Rebound not cleared. 10 to go in the power play. Hammerlick a shot. And a save again by Waugh. And the rebound cleared away.
Just great action. The Edmonton Oilers controlled that puck. They gave it to their trigger man, John. Dougie Waite had that puck about 60% of the time out there trying to find that open guy. Edmonton moved well. The Avalanche did a good job of keeping the box crashing down, and especially the forwards came down and helped out a couple of times with rebounds. Beat Edmonton Oilers players to the puck.
And Waugh, as you saw, had to make a couple of big saves. That last one, a tip-in try by Fraser. 6 to go in the power play. The face-off big here between Sakic and Marchand. Sakic gets it back. And Gusarov now to the corner for Deadmarsh. Fights off the check and gets it out. With that kill, Prime Star donates $50 to the Colorado Special Olympics. Edmonton now 1 of 2 on the power play. 1-1 our score. Here's Foote ahead to Deadmarsh. Marchand there. Plays it back to the line. And Deadmarsh again leaves it for Sakic. Up the middle, Gusarov now for the speedy Deadmarsh. Around Niedermayer. He cuts in front and lost the handle the last second after he made a strong move. Long pass to Fraser. Fraser to the corner. In front to McCammon, and it was tipped away by Ozolinch. Good play by him. Jones back of his goal to Ozolinch. Clears it ahead to Deadmarsh, and he'll tip it by Roman and Hammerlick. Now the Oilers in the midst of a line change. Send it in again. Here's Waugh. Good play to get the puck to Krupp. He was hammered in the corner by Greer. And Forsberg away from Zalapukas. Back to Ozolinch. And ahead on the wing, Deadmarsh couldn't get it. Oilers have pressure here. Back to Hammerlick. Lost the handle. And now Forsberg out to center ice. He'll sail one in over the goal. 8 minutes gone in the second period. It's 1-1. Forsberg for the Avalanche. Smith for Edmonton. This is Bill Guerin. And he tried to go up the middle. Knocked away by Gusarov. Not cleared. Guerin again. But Gusarov got his stick on it. And now gobbled up by Forsberg. He leads a 3-on-3 rush. In with Lemieux. Forsberg makes a move. Hammerlick slowed him down a bit. Forsberg gets it free to Adam Foote. Now Foote back on the line to Lemieux. Lets it go. Rebound to Kamensky. Wide open. Oh! Highway robbery. Maybe the save of the series by Joseph.
John, I was just about to say that I'll tell you, there's not much room out there. There's not many defensive breakdowns for either club, and suddenly a wide open shot by Kamensky. You're going to see the right side. Everybody's heading out towards him, and Kamensky's left down low. Kept him in the game.
11:25 to go in the second. 1-1 the score. As Jeff Odgers has it in the corner now to Sakic. On the line, Ozelin. He works in. Now to Reichel. Centers one. Odgers was there, but couldn't get a stick on it. And Ryan Smith to center ice for Mats Lindgren. Now Herkis into Smith. Puck got it, a save by Waugh with his pad. And cleared by Ozelin onto Odgers, and he gets it out. A final in from Ottawa. The Senators hang on and beat the Devils 4-3.
Shucks.
Now the Avalanche force a turnover. Here's Fitzgerald in front. Tipped on goal. And a save by Joseph. And the Oilers respond. Daniel Alfredson had the hat trick in that game for Ottawa. And the Senators take a 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. Remember, Ottawa, the 8th seed against the number 1 seed, New Jersey. Zelapukin back for the Devils. He gave it away. Fitzgerald lets it go. And the rebound came right in front as Joseph made a good save. Miller on the right point. Fires one. Another rebound in front. And fired down the ice. That's about the 4th rebound right in the slot in the last 2 minutes.
For the Avalanche, after spending a good period of this period in their own zone, they're starting to come on a little bit.
Now Greer back to the goal, but Yale picked his pocket. And Lemieux in the corner. Murray on the boards. Back on the line to Hammerlick. His shot blocked. Now Lefebvre in front of the goal, and he'll turn with it. And lift it off the glass to center. 9:45 to go in the second.
Every time Greer's line's been on the ice tonight, John, they've been effective. He and Zelapukin have done a real good job with Ren Murray of pitting the Avalanche and getting some good pressure.
No question, Greer has been their best player by a country mile in this one. Gooser off into the zone. He gets the puck in front to Lemieux. Lets it go, and a save by Joseph with his arm. Now Forsberg back on the goal. Centers one to Foote, and a save by Joseph, and the rebound cleared away. Great action at both ends. Still tied at 1. As the Avalanche play it to the Oiler line, Mironov picked off by Forsberg. But Kieran got back to break it up. Long pass to Doug Waite. Into the zone to Guerin. Oh, and Waugh just got his right pad down. And Deadmarsh the other way. Now Jones flies into the Oilers zone to Sakic. In front, Jones didn't know it was there. Joseph poked it away, but right to Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh now down low to Sakic. Waite is there, and he goes high on the glass and out to center.
I don't think either one of these clubs plays that neutral zone trap, John. They're flying through that area.
Now Guerin with the puck. In with McCammon. And Ozelin stepped up and made a great play. And now to center to Deadmarsh. A torrid pace right now. The quickest of the series to this point. Niederman now at his own line. Dodges a check into McCammon. His backhander blocked by Ozelin. Now Marchand. Taken to the boards by Stefan Yell. 8 to go in the period. McCammon again. Looks to wander in front. Chase back to the goal. Now on their right point to Niemana. Over to Musil. And that shot is wide. A penalty coming up here, I think, on the Avalanche.
It was almost as if something had to give. At both ends of the ice, the puck was just firing in towards the front of the net. And you're right, John. That's about as fast a 5 minutes of hockey as we've seen all season long. the biggest save, John, as you mentioned, of this series so far.
Yell goes off for cross-checking at 12:15. Edmonton 1 for 2 in the power play. In a 1-1 game, they dump it in. Gusarov is the first man back. Off the glass it goes. Berehowski, he kept it in, but now Deadmarsh is there with Adam foot and foot. A great job. He gambled a bit, but got it out. Forsberg up front with John Clem. Gusarov put back on defense. Niinema will lift it into the zone. Gusarov knocks it away and clears one to Clem, who gets it down the ice. 40 gone in the power play, and the Avs get a fresh quartet of players on the ice. Drake Berehowski out of his own zone. Now in for Yanni Niinema. Guerin fanned on it, and Deadmarsh has it for the Avalanche, and here they come to center. They have scored one short-handed goal, and the drive by Lefebvre is blocked by Joseph. Berehowski to center ice. Here's Ryan Smith. Gets away from Lefebvre, way to drive, and a save by Waugh. The rebound is taken by Lefebvre, and he'll slam it down the ice. And 40 left, and Yell's minor. Of course, he is the Avalanche's top penalty killer, so they miss him here. Hammerleck to center to Doug Waite. Into the zone, Fitzgerald got back. He turns and can't clear it out. Now Gusarov on the near side. And off the glass it goes and down the ice. So good penalty killing by the Avalanche.
No matter how frantic it gets, the puck goes to Gusarov. He just is so calm. He just relaxed off the glass out of the zone.
There's Guerin, a pass back, and Wade had his pocket picked by Kamensky. And a race for it, but Mironov beat him to it. And Mironov into the Av zone. They're back to full strength. Guerin has it in front. Oh, Mironov had a stick lifted by Yell. And Forsberg to center ice in a 1-1 game. Forsberg charges in front of Lemieux, just out of his reach. Now Lemieux fires it toward the goal. Kamensky back of the goal to Lemieux, and covered by Joseph. And no further action. With that last kill, Prime Star donates $50 to the Special Olympics.
Well, Stefan Yell comes right out of the box and may have saved a goal for the Avalanche. Remember, it's gonna happen on the left side of your screen. Mironov coming across the blue line. Yell's just getting out of the box. I don't think Mironov thought Yell was gonna be there. He just he didn't one-time it. He was gonna take his time and put it upstairs, and Yell makes a great defensive play.
It's still 1-1. What a hockey game here in Game 4. Both goals in the first period. Ryan Smith at 17:52, a power play goal. Forsberg tied it 17 seconds later. Sakic, Deadmarsh, and Jones up front. Against Marchand, who lost the draw. Ozolinsh a shot, and that was wide. Now chip behind the goal. Here's Ozolinsh back to the left point. Gets some support from Sakic, who fires it into the corner. McCammon on with Marchand and Fraser. Now back to the goal. Jones nearly stole the puck. Yanni Niinema up the middle, and it goes high to the neutral zone. Sanders Ozolinsh. Fraser lost his stick, and now Sakic wheels it to center ice. And McCammon lifts it in. Here's Ozolinsh again. On to Huey Krupp. Blocked at center by McCammon. And now into Marchand. He was bothered by Ozolinsh. Marchand gets it. And that shot was blocked by Waugh on the sharp angle shot. And Krupp around the boards and back to center ice. Here's Marchand again. Dumps it in. And both clubs make some changes here. Ozolinsh is the first man back with 4:20 to go in the second period. Long pass. Oh, knocked down by Greer. In front. Sala Token. A great chance. Now centered, but Eric Lacroix is there. And the Avalanche dodge a bullet there. Now loose at center. Greer again for Edmonton. On to Rem Murray. Doesn't get it deep. Lefebvre blocked it for Yell. And down the ice it goes. So the Avalanche were coming on for a while, and now the Oilers have had the better of the play in the last couple of minutes.
The Avalanche almost gave one away.
Shot by DeVries. Blocked away by Waugh. To the corner, Aaron Miller is on it. Zelepukin is on him. Miller kicks it ahead to Lemieux. Trying to clear it. Tripped up. Bodies fly everywhere. And a hand pass here to Guerin, and that's whistled down. 3:23 to go in the second. It's 1-1. This game is split. It's 1-1. 3:15 to go in the second period. As the Oilers shoot it down the ice, this should be an icing call as Miller gets there first.
And John, just to look around the league, and you get an idea of just how intense these playoff series are. You go to the East, the number 1 seed Jersey is down 3 games to 1 to the number 8 seed. The number 2 seed Pittsburgh is down 2-1 to Montreal, the 7th seed. And the number 3 seed Philadelphia is down 2-1 to Buffalo, the 6th seed. So 1, 2, and 3 in the East are all down in their series.
Washington blanked Boston 3-0 despite getting outshot 38-18 by the Bruins.
They had over 50 shots on goal last game and lost.
That's tough. Great goaltending by Olaf Kolzig of the Capitals. Sakic on the faceoff. He's out between Reichel and Odgers.
Sakic getting the most ice time, I would think, of any of the Avalanche forwards tonight. Double shifting. He's got his own line with Deadmarsh and Jones, but has also been on that 4th line, Reichel and Odgers.
Here's Lefebvre, tips the puck on the boards. Odgers, with his strength, gets it out. Under 3 to go in the second period. It is 1-1. Now Berehowski. And off the glass and down the ice it goes. They wave it off as Miller takes cover behind his goal. For Lefebvre, long right wing pass. Hammerlick missed it, and here comes Odgers. In on Hammerlick. Odgers pounded by Hammerlick. Now Sakic on the board. And a shot. Rebound, Odgers in front. Joseph the save. And he covers up.
John, I think it would be fair to say this has been Joseph's best period of these playoffs. To get back to 2 saves in particular. The Deadmarsh save early, where he got it just under his arm, and then the Kamensky save, but also he has just been solid in close. Remember that first goal that Forsberg got looked a little bit shaky, but here in this second he has regrouped and really played well, as Patrick Waugh has at the other end. There's a good battle. Hammerlick and Odgers in the corner, but Reichel and Odgers do what they're supposed to do on this shift. Get the puck to Sakic, let him shoot, and drive to the front of the net.
Still tied at 1. Face-off won by Fitzgerald. He lost his stick. And the Oilers rem Murray. Long pass. Knocked it midair by Ozolinsh. And now Nienema spins away from Fitzgerald. But Lacroix grabs the loose puck. And he was dumped hard by Nienema. Yell to the corner. Zelepukin back. Trying to clear it. And he does over Krupp. And this will be an icing call. Ozolinsh. He just got there ahead of Mike Greer. He went around the wrong side of the goal there.
The ice is getting slow. This late in the period, there's been a lot of action down in the Avalanche zone, so he just picked the wrong side of the net. But that big Greer, he was just flying.
And getting back to our GMC trivia question, the youngest player to win the Conn Smythe Trophy for playoff MVP.
It was back in 1986, a very young 20-year-old Patrick Waugh led the Montreal Canadiens to the Stanley Cup over the Calgary Flames.
Pierre Lacroix, who was his agent at the time, tells the story in the Stanley Cup parade that year. The fans were so enthralled with Waugh and his heroics, they literally ripped his clothes off at the parade. Forsberg on the board in a 1-1 hockey game. In the last 2 minutes of the second, Cole Kamensky was knocked down and a penalty called here. Mironov, and he cross-checks Kamensky again. And he'll get a cross-checking minor.
Well, if you're going to give one to Ozolinsh at the far end on Greer, you got to give this one. Mironov won't be complaining too much. Now remember, Mironov and Kamensky both played for the Soviet team in the Olympics, and they're good buddies. So you know Mironov, I mean, he's doing what he has to do, but he knocks his pal down, and the Avalanche go in the power play.
And the Avalanche get their second power play. They're 0 for 1 tonight and 5 of 19 in the series. They have the top-rated power play in the NHL coming into this fourth game. Forsberg is up front between Kamensky and Lemieux. Ozolinsh and Sakic on defense. At times, this power play has looked awesome in this series.
And a real big key has been the skating of Ozolinsh in the offensive zone.
Forsberg got the face-off now into Ozolinsh, and the shot was blocked by Marchand and hacked around the boards by Marchand and down the ice. During the regular season, the Avalanche were 9 of 31 in the power play against Edmonton, nearly 30%. As Sakic carries it to center ice, and he'll wrist it in. Cujo stops it, trying to clear it on the glass, and by Ozolinsh. And 35 gone to the power play. Here's Sakic ahead to Lemieux. Storms into the zone. Pop shot and a save by Joseph. Now Kamensky in the corner in the final minute of the second period. All three have forwards in there, and a whistle. And some pushing.
And for the Avalanche, one thing that has gotten better from the regular season to the playoffs has been the power play every year. This year, it's a little deceptive because this year power plays around the whole league were down. But 27.8%, I mean, that is excellent.
Now the Forsberg line takes a seat. Sakic will move to center between Jones and Deadmarsh. And Krupp and Ozolinsh on defense. Boy, a goal here would be very large for the Avalanche.
And the Avalanche looking for one guy that it would be perfect if he scored it, would be Keith Jones. Jones has worked so hard just trying to get that rhythm that he had last year in the playoffs. Of course, he missed so much of this season with that knee injury.
55 to go in the period. Sakic has been great on faceoffs in all three games. Takes this one against Rem Murray. Sakic gets it. Ozolinsh on the line for Krupp. To the corner. Niedermo is right there, and he'll lob one to center. And Ozolinsh has to go back. A minute to go in the power play. On for Deadmarsh. Gets it in for Jones. In deep it goes. And the Oilers, Niedermo chips it ahead. Murray trying to clear it out. Ozolinsh on the line. Now Jones after it against Buseal. Jones back of the goal. Trying to get some help from Sakic. Cleared around the boards. Krupp on the right point. He lets it go, and that was over the goal. Ozolinsh trying to hold it, and he can't as Murray clears it. 10 to go in the period. Waugh ahead to Krupp. One last chance here in the second, and Fitzgerald is offside.
Well, barring a miracle, we're going to go into the third period even in this hockey game. Remember, in each of the three games of this series, the Avalanche have led at some point by 2 goals. But tonight's game, we're going into the third period even at 1. And John, both teams had opportunities to take control of this game in this second period. The goaltending was very good.
5 seconds left in the period. Waugh has faced 20 shots. Joseph 18. So time for one shot here if the Avalanche can get the faceoff. Fitzgerald against Marchand. And Marchand gets it back, cleared down the ice. And we will go to the third period tied at 1. A scoreless second. The shots in that second period, 12-10 for the Avalanche. Yeah, congratulations and the best of luck to John Cullen. Here we go at the third period. The Avs have 18 seconds to go in their power play. This marks the first game in the series that the Avalanche have not had a lead going to the third. During the regular season, the Avalanche were 6-4-7 when tied after 2. The Oilers were 9-7-7 when even after 2. As the Avs dump it in, Joseph to the corner. Forsberg is right there with Kamensky. Now back on the line to Yui Krupp. Edmonton back at full strength. Here comes Forsberg. Lets a shot go, and that was wide and off the boards, and down the ice it goes. So the Avalanche are now 0 for 2 on the power play. As Krupp sets it up behind his goal. And off the glass, down the ice, that will be on net, so no icing. Berehowski for the Oilers. Paired on defense with Greg DeVries. Up front, Buchberger, Guerin, and Waite. This time against the Sakic line. Jones for the Avalanche. Rips it right back in. And Cujo hands it right to Deadmarsh. Tried to center one, but fanned on it. And the Oilers shoot it back to the neutral zone. Now foot to Gusarov. Up for Jones. Broken up, and Waite sails it in. And now the Oilers make a change on the fly. As Adam Foote gets to it and clears it out. Hammerlick back for Boris Mironov. Greer gets it back in there. And Watt on the far side. Yell is there. Waz lost his goal stick here. Now he gets it. And the Avalanche clear the zone. Foote picked it up and gave it to Waugh. And now we get a whistle at center ice.
You know, last game, the Avalanche played 75 minutes and 25 seconds of hockey before they put this game away. But they used all 6 defensemen. And, John, it was amazing. Look at the ice time that the defenseman got. The least was Krupp, surprisingly enough, with 21 minutes, 56 seconds. The most was Gusarov for 28 minutes. But everybody, over 20 minutes. No one played 30 minutes. Everybody for the Avalanche played out there. And so if you don't get that tired hockey club late in games or late in series.
Conversely, Roman Hammerlick led all players with 38 minutes in the hockey game. And his partner Mironov played close to 32. Now the Avalanche into the zone. Rogers a shot. That was wide of the goal. Sakic trying to get it back to the net to Berehowski now for Ryan Smith. He can't clear it. Smith gets a second chance and does get it out. And now into the zone. Lindgren to the corner. Mats Lindgren trying to work out of the corner for Tony Herkus. That shot hit Krupp and ends up in the near side. Smith cycles it back of the goal to Lindgren. In front over the stick of Odgers and Herkus, and snared by Warren Reichel. In off the glass, and Reichel charges in after it. Joseph up the wing, and played out by Smith. Both clubs making changes here as Gusarov. Good feed to center for Peter Forsberg. And a high one to the corner. Hammerlick on the far side to Guerin. And he goes high with it. Waite is after it against Adam Foote. Oh, and Buchberger a rocket. Guerin a shot, and Watt kicked it away after Buchberger just missed from the left wing side, and Kamensky chips it out. Here's Hammerlick back for Edmonton. Nearly 3 minutes gone in the third, and a 1-1 game. Mironov is in there. That shot hit Gusarov and just missed the far side. And Gusarov takes a hit, trying to clear it. Buchberger, backhander, and a save by Waugh. And Foote clears the rebound, and this will be an icing call. Great intensity here in the third.
Wouldn't you rather do things the easy way than the hard way? Elevator instead of stairs. ATM machine over the long teller line. Calculator instead of your fingers. Well, now here's the easiest way to put $1,000 in your pocket. Just buy a new Ford Escort from your Rocky Mountain Ford dealer and get 1-9 financing or $1,000 cash back. And that's on any Escort. So, buying a new Ford Escort and getting 1-9 financing or $1,000 cash back, well, that's easy. Getting this deal anywhere else, now that's hard. Just see your Rocky Mountain Ford dealer today.
Well, you can get all the latest Stanley Cup playoff info on the TCG fan hotline. Details on games, dates, broadcasts, and ticket availability. Call 537-PUCK.
We've talked a lot about the fact the Avalanche have done well in the first period. Well, Edmonton has done very well in the third period. Remember, get back to game one. They scored 3 goals in that third period to win that hockey game.
Yell on the face-off against Murray. Murray between Greer and Zelepukin. This might be Edmonton's best line tonight, as the Avalanche control the face-off and clear it back to center. Now Lefebvre looking for an open man. Yell knocked it down, but now dumped into the zone. Aaron Miller is over there. And off the boards it goes. And back in offside at the Avalanche blue line.
It's that time of the game you very seldom have to mention discipline and composure. But, you know, it's something on the bench you're constantly talking about. You got that nervous energy. So you're always reminding yourself exactly what to do, because one bad slip-up right now can cost you. And we saw it last game. It almost cost the Avalanche when Forsberg took that little chop and hammer look after the Avalanche. We're going to have a power play. Fortunately, the Avalanche won it on the 4-on-4. 4-on-4.
Now Aaron Miller gets the puck off the boards. Reichel is there. And chipped to center by Reichel. Fired in by Odgers. And yes, it will be an icing call against the Avs. Peter Forsberg with a goal tonight, assisted by Lemieux and Kamensky. His line going back to the regular season, now in the last 6 games going back to the regular season, counting tonight, with 16 goals and 16 assists and 32 points in 6 games.
You know, they have such interesting styles. They're not just a fast line. They're not just a big line. They've got a great combination. And, you know, you got Forsberg, who's so good in his own zone defensively. Lemieux's good in front of the other team's net. He's smart. Kamensky makes the right play. So, offensively, they're good. But defensively, they come back, they help, they make the right decisions.
Now Fitzgerald on the face-off against Rem Murray. Murray has been the Oilers' best face-off man in the game, and he's .500, 4-4 on the night. Fitzgerald is kicked out, so Yell will take it. Nearly 4 minutes gone in the third. It's 1-1, and Yell wins it. And Miller back of the goal for Lefebvre. Up the middle it goes to center. Now Mike Greer back in for Zelepukin. And Miller came over and did a great job to knock it off his stick. And Fitzgerald in the corner. Knocked down. Here's Greer. That shot hit some traffic in front. And Fitzgerald to the far side. Lefebvre in the corner. 5 players in after the puck. And the Avalanche take over. Lefebvre on the glass. And over the glass. And again a face-off in the Avs zone.
Well, you want to talk about a confident player right now. And that's Aaron Miller. Now, Zelepukin's coming in here with speed, and Miller comes across. This is one of the toughest plays for a defenseman, because if you mistime this, the guy's going to dance right by you. But Miller takes him, doesn't watch the puck, plays the man, moves him into the corner, and there comes Yell to take it and move it out of trouble. Great play by Aaron Miller.
Aaron Miller said yesterday, the games late in the regular season when he got into some action, played consistently on defense, were the most important games of his career. Made a name for himself again and got a spot, and he is showing no signs of letting go of that spot. Joseph has to play it here. Now Jones a drive at the side of the goal. Sakic back of the net. Kaput. Saved by Joseph. Jones a drive. Save again by Joseph. And he holds on.
Well, Joseph was down, had no way of seeing the shot from Foot, and Foot shot hit him right in the chest. Adam Foot. You don't see him do it very often, but nobody was watching him. He sneaks down. The defenseman for the Avalanche sneaks down, jumps into the offense, and just about gave the Avalanche the lead. Right side, you see Foot? Joseph didn't see it. He looked like he may have been leaning the wrong way, but he made the save. And again, Joseph continues to play well since that start of the second period.
Forsberg on the face-off. It is 1-1 against Waite, and Doug Waite wins the face-off. Cleared by Hammerlick. Held in by Foot, tipped by Forsberg. Now Forsberg in the corner, draws two people to him. But Waite gets it away, and Buchberger now to Guerin. Here's Waite trying to walk in. He can't get any room in there, and the Avalanche force it back to center. 5:10 gone in the third period. Lifted in on Waugh, and he smothers it with the catcher. And Buchberger wanted a rebound, and now he gives Foot a face wash.
Well, they're both trying to draw the other into a penalty. Again, the little gamesmanship that goes on. And you look for the Avalanche. This is what's happened to them. I don't think, John, that their top players have played this well as a group all season. These are the numbers after the first 3 games. You can add another goal to Forsberg, an assist to Kaminsky and Lemieux. So that's why it has been such an interesting series. Edmonton is holding on. And then remember, they've only been ahead in this series so far for 5 minutes and 9 seconds, but one more goal, and they're right there to tie the series.
Here's Doug Waite on the boards. Sakic steps in front of Buchberger and lifts it ahead to Yell, and the Avalanche chip it back to center. Hammerlick at his own line for Boris Mironov. Waite looking for an open man, but Buchberger was offside. And they'll bring it back to center. Ron Lowe all but admitted today that neither goalie has brought his A game to the series thus far, but both have it tonight.
Yeah. I was talking to Pete Peters, the goaltending coach for the Edmonton Oilers, and he was saying that, that was exactly his feeling, that neither goaltender had, and it wasn't a criticism, it was just he knew that they have both raised the level of their play, and they have, John, especially since the start of the second period.
Now Sakic, Reichel and Odgers against Herkis, Smith, and Lindgren. Oilers dump it in. Chip to the corner for Ryan Smith. Krupp is on him, and Krupp, using his strength, knocks it away. Now Lindgren and Sakic battle for it. Odgers trying to clear it. Herkis a shot, and eaten up by Patrick Waugh with that glove. He fought through a screen there and made a good glove save.
This seems to be where the scoring chances are going to come from in this third period. Plays along the wall, along the boards, in the corner that bounce out front, and you got to be there. For Patrick Waugh, he is looking for win number 99 in the playoffs. But of course, every Avalanche trainer told me the magic number for Patrick Waugh this year, John, is 112. That would mean he'd won 16 games in the playoffs, and the Avalanche would have themselves a second Stanley Cup in Colorado.
Peter, you mentioned the Avalanche, with all their stars, haven't played this well in a long time. They haven't won 3 in a row, which they're trying to do tonight, since early February, when they won 5 straight. As Lefebvre plays it right in front of his own goal. Miller can't clear it out. Now Miller again in the corner. Pushed to the boards by Rem Murray. It's 1-1 here in the third. Now Zelpukin back of the goal. To the near side, Mike Greer in after it. Murray was knocked down by Fitzgerald, and he gets the puck. And the Avalanche get the puck to center. And Greer back in his own line for Greg DeVries. Here's Zelpukin. Knocked down at center by Yell. In on DeVries. Now Yell to the corner for Deadmarsh. Back of that goal. Now centers, but Greer is there. Can't clear it. Oh, he does. Ozolinsh had it go through his legs, or he would have had an open shot. Yanni Needham of the ex-Flyer. Trying to get the puck into the zone. He does for Fraser. He was hooked a bit by Sakic and can't get a shot on the Avalanche. Turn it the other way. On for Ozelich. Trying to race in on Useal. He gave Useal an elbow. And Ozelich went down, and the puck to center, now taken by McCammon. And he fell down, and a call against the Avalanche. A hooking minor.
Now the speed of McCammon. Sakic, pardon me, right side of your screen, is just going to get the stick on him. Down he goes. Edmonton, first power play this period.
What is it about leather? You need beautiful lines to pull it off. Meet the limited edition Mazda 626. Now in leather. Luxuriously loaded at just $239 a month. It's time to get into leather. Lease a Mazda 626 leather edition for just $239 a month, but only for a limited time. Fact, there are now over 1,000 different styles of athletic shoes. Even buying shoes has become complicated. So in a world with so many choices, how are you ever going to plan your financial future? Come to Key. With Key Solutions, we'll help you look at all your options, find a plan that fits, and help you take a step closer to your financial goals. Key. Help at every turn.
Tonight's Taco Bell Bill ringer of the game.
Eric Lacroix and Neiman have come together in that first period. Boom, and that has been so typical of the hits in tonight's game. Both teams have been involved physically.
Sakic goes off for hooking. That's 7:24. The Oilers are 1 for 3 on the power play.
And the key to any power play for the Edmonton Oilers is going to be number 39, Dougie Wade. He's their quarterback.
He set up their only goal, scored by Ryan Smith, who gets it and fires it to the corner. Forsberg is there. He has scored for the Avalanche, and he chips it down the ice. 35 gone to the power play. And Guerin, who leads the club with 3 power play goals. Guerin heads up the middle. Into the corner. Now around on the boards for Waite. To the near side again to Guerin. In deep to Ryan Smith. Now for Waite. Waite looks to center it. Back of the line to Mironov to Hammerlick. Over to Mironov. A minute gone in the power play. Hammerlick doesn't shoot it. Now he does. Guerin! Oh, what a save by Waugh! What a save there!
Time seemed to stop for a second as Guerin was all by himself.
He had that gun cock for 10 seconds, and Waugh made the big save. 35 to go. It's Sakic's minor. And a Hammerlick again in his own zone. On to Dean McCammon. His wrister is well wide. Waite picks it up. He's been on for the entire power play. Waite trying to walk in front. Hammerlick on the line. Now to Waite. Cleared by Miller, not out. Now back on the line again. Hammerlick over to Berehowski. That shot kicked away by Lefebvre. 5 to go in the power play. Here's Berehowski. Now to McCammon. Lets it go, and Waugh got a piece of that one. Sakic back on. The Avalanche have killed it off. And with the kill, Prime Stars donates another $50 to the Special Olympics. Here's Forsberg, has Sakic at center, but he can't get it to the captain. And the Oilers right back in, but Lefebvre took a man down, and Deadmarsh on the puck with some speed. Here comes Deadmarsh. The backhander, and he missed it. And the Oilers take over. 10-10 to go. In the third, it's 1-1. Now Marchand into the zone. Backhander, and that was wide. Niedermatt kept it in. Plays one to the corner. Jones has lost his stick here. The Avalanche trying to clear it, and they do. Now Krupp ahead to Deadmarsh. 2-on-1 here. Into Ozelich. With Deadmarsh. To Deadmarsh. And it went off his skates. Then Marchand gets it. Great action here. Marchand pulled down, no call. And the Avalanche may have gotten away with one there as Krupp lobs it down the ice. Mironov threw it back to center. He got away with one there. Now the puck at the Avs line, foot ahead, and shoots it down the ice. Rem Murray now. Oh, he nearly lost it. expand on it, but right there is Mironov. Does it get any better than this, hockey lovers?
I mean,
As Gusarov goes back.
sometimes you just forget how exciting this stuff can be.
Now Forsberg into Lemieux. He shoots. He scores! Oh, thank you! Thank you! What a goal by Mr. Big Goal! And the Avalanche have the lead.
John, how does he do this? It is unbelievable. We're at a great angle from up here to see it. Joseph just leaned a little too far to his left. Opened up the far side, and Lemieux, after 3 or 4 rushes both ways, here's Forsberg's pass. Catches the defenseman. And at that point, it doesn't look like a great angle, but a great shot. And Lemieux picks up his 3rd goal. And right away, John, you saw Mark Crawford on the bench. You know, you get back. Here's the save earlier, though, John. That's the one on Guerin. That's the one they'll be talking about if this game continues along this line.
And that goal gives him 73 playoff goals. He ties Dino Ciccarelli for 8th spot all-time, his 3rd of the series at 10:59 from Forsberg and Gusarov, and the Avalanche with a 2-1 lead, their first lead of the game. Now Niinema gets the puck in there. As Adam Foote tries to clear it, the Oilers have to let it all hang out now. They do not want to go down 3-1 in the series as Musil touches up. Just a perfect shot at a perfect time for Lemieux and the Avalanche.
2 boats are headed for disaster on the next Real TV. A Coast Guard cutter and a speedboat are on a collision course. Their impact is just like hitting a brick wall. Can you guess who the court says is at fault here? Then a Real TV special delivery. Tape of this lady giving birth to her baby boy with the help of her brave husband and a 911 operator. Plus, he can get a 6-pound iron to stick to his chest. The whole family has a magnetic personality on Real TV.
Tomorrow night at 6:30 on UPN 20.
One more woman hearing herself think. One more woman ignoring the word impossible. One more woman finding a few miles of peace. One less woman waiting for someday. Achieve New Balance.
Well, for the Colorado Avalanche, this is the goal right now that's given him the lead. But Lemieux seems to wait for a second. Joseph leaned, and just to see him leaning to his left, and he actually fell down. As with that goal, he ties Dino Ciccarelli 8th place. He's already moved past Claude Lemieux and Trottier in this playoff season.
Lemieux the goal from Forsberg and Gusarov at 10:59. The Avalanche have a 2-1 lead. 8:41 to go in regulation. Rem Murray gets it. Musil shot. That's off some legs and wide, and Eric Lacroix lifts it off the glass. And let's see. Yes, it will be an icing call against the Avalanche. Peter, you got to wonder if Joseph was thinking short side, because that's where Sakic beat him for the winner in Game 3.
Well, it certainly looked like he got himself in a spot where there was a low range to the far side. But again, Lemieux took that one stride, John, and then cut in. The defenseman was caught in the middle of the ice a little bit, which allowed Lemieux to be more in the center of the ice than maybe Joseph thought he was going to be able to get to.
And that goal by Lemieux came on just the 3rd shot of the period for the Avalanche. They've been outshot 25-21, but lead 2-1. Now Rem Murray in front, tipped away by Adam Foote, and here comes Yale with Fitzgerald to Fitzgerald. In on Musil, a shot, and that was blocked by Musil. Eric Lacroix on the right point, gets it back in deep, and Yanni Niinema with 8 to go in the 3rd. The pass to Mike Greer. Chipped by Lacroix, but controlled at center by Ozelin. And down the ice it goes. No icing here. Greg DeVries, number 5. Both clubs make wholesale changes. As DeVries gets the puck in there. No icing. Lefebvre. Terrific support from Aaron Miller. And Lefebvre up on the boards to Deadmarsh. He was knocked down by DeVries. Now Lindgren to the corner. Back of the goal to McCammon. Has time. Centers one. And Lindgren's shot was gloved by Waugh. He hit something, and Waugh took no chances.
Well, Lindgren's stick snapped off in his hand. It's right at the top. But again, watch the concentration of Patrick Waugh. He's looking around. That little head move picks it out of midair. That little head move that he made was to have a look and see who was in front of him. It's Patrick Waugh, who won his 30th overtime game last game. That's more overtime games than any goaltender in the history of hockey. The next active guy is Grant Fuhr with 14.
7:26 to go. 2-1 for the Avalanche, trying to take a 3-1 lead in the series. Now Jones fights in the corner against Marchand. The puck in the air, and Sakic will send a bouncer down the ice. Deadmarsh after it against DeVries. And DeVries wins the foot race. And now back at center, Gusarov and McCammon become involved. And they both could go, or is it Jones?
They've gone at it a couple of times in today's game. But now we get back to that 4-on-4 hockey that has been so good to the Avalanche this season. They both get 2. Shammon's arguing. It's going to happen along the boards right here. Both of them trying to draw the other guy. They both go off. Gary Fraser says enough of that. We're down to 7:06. The next 2 minutes that will be played. 5-on-5.
Roughing Miners at 12:54.
4-on-4 hockey, John. Waite and Guerin up front against Forsberg and Lemieux.
Forsberg gets it. Lemieux, oh, he nearly made it 3-1. What a glove save by Joseph. Lemieux got everything on that one. And Mironov now to center. To the Avs line. Foot throws it ahead. Forsberg doesn't want to touch it because the faceoff will come back in the Avs zone. So it's dumped in by Hammerluck. And a pretty good play by Forsberg. And Adams' foot sails it high to the Oilers line. Hammerluck now for Mironov. On to Doug Waite. Forsberg watching him. Mironov trying to get loose at center. And that's offside. A good job by Ozelin to step up into the play, and that put it offside.
Well, here's Forsberg. He knows if he touches it, the puck comes back into his zone. He's hoping that maybe Hammerluck will just touch it up and he can intercept it, pop it along the boards. But on the other side of it, if you're Edmonton, you want the Avalanche to touch it. Hammerluck makes a pretty good play. Almost found an open spot in the far side.
6:24 to go in the third. A 2-1 Avs lead. 1:15 left in the Miners to Jones and McCammon. As Frank Musil to center for Ty Marchand. He's got great wheels. Rister, oh, that one was a knuckleball, and Waugh made the save. And Ozelin, oh, great feed to Kamensky. In on Nienema. And Nienema knocked it away. Joseph back to the goal. Sakic in the corner knocks it down. Now to Kamensky. Ozelin is in front. To Ozelin. And tipped on goal. And Joseph had to go off the leg of Marchand, and he had to reach back, and that was precariously close to the goal line.
Well, he didn't look like he was going to be able to use his left pad, so he reached down and grabbed the rolling puck. And again, Ozelin, surprising Edmonton, just gets it back in time because his pad was already committed, and he couldn't move that leg.
Rosalind with 7 points in the series has been held pointless tonight. Forsberg and Lemieux with the Avs goals. Smith for Edmonton. 47 to go in the Matchy Minors. And just under 6 to play in the third period. Deadmarsh on the draw against Marchand. Deadmarsh doesn't take a lot of draws, but he is very good. And he gets this one cleanly back to Aaron Miller. And that shot was wide by 3 or 4 feet. And tipped out by Lindgren. Marchand is after it. Trying to center, but Miller got back there, blocked his pass, and the puck. Now Marchand in the corner for Mironov. Back of the goal to Lindgren. In front there. Stuff in try, and he put it through the goal crease. And Deadmarsh hacks it out. Now Mironov again for the Oilers. Long wrister is wide. 15 to go in the 4-on-4 situation. Wade in front, and Deadmarsh took Mironov down, no call. And here come the Avalanche, 3-on-2. Fitzgerald into the zone to Lefebvre. Back in front of Fitzgerald. He was wide open, but it was just out of his reach. And Smith to center. Team's back to full strength. Doug Weight can't get a pass through on left wing, and the Avalanche cleared away again. Both clubs at full strength with 4:50 to go, and we get a break in the action. This one going down to the WIRE.
And in financial news, stocks are plummeting. For more on this,
Choose the wrong wireless service?
Winston, get me a phone. That worked.
With AirTouch, you get coverage you can count on. Excuse me. Who knows? It could change your life. AirTouch.
Sign up with AirTouch and get a free AudioVox phone and car lighter adapter.
Your dog, your couch, your toaster, your shoes, your girl, your dinner, your souvenir, your lamp, your 7th grade teacher, your 7th grade fantasy, your soccer ball, your shower curtain, your TV, your sex, your paperweight, your goldfish, your job, your sunglasses, your relationship, your kid's sister, your trash, your life, your car. The Honda Civic. It has you written all over it. Now lease a 98 Civic Coupe for $139 a month for 36 months and a $1,500 down payment.
Well, don't miss out on the breakaway sale at all team stores. Buy an adult replica jersey and get a free children's jersey or 50% off a youth jersey. 4:50 to go. The Avalanche with a 2-1 lead and a 2-1 lead in the series. If they win this one, they would put the Oilers in a huge hole. Adam Foote clears it out. Don't forget Game 5 set for Thursday in Denver. Forsberg at center ice with some good stick handling. Now to Lemieux. And Kieran will get it in his own zone.
The Avalanche started to make that safe play. John, dump it in. Forsberg just gave it over to Lemieux, got it down low, and stayed back.
Good play by Adam Foote to break it up, and here's Forsberg on to Foote. Can't get to it. And Hammerlick again. He looks for an open man. Everybody's covered, so he clears to the Avs line. And a penalty, no. Play goes on. I thought I heard a whistle there, but play goes on. Under 4 to go, Karen. And a long dump in. Played by Aaron Miller. And he gets it out. And he took the hit. And the Oilers have to come all the way back to center. Now McCammon at his own line for Edmonton. Pass up the middle. Tipped by Jones. That's offside as Fraser was in on right wing. Time now to check out what's on tap. Brought to you by Miller Lite. We'll have that for you on Fox Sports Net Thursday. Avalanche tonight commences at 6:30 Mountain Time. Game 5 on Thursday.
For Ron Lowe, he has been putting Wade's line out there almost every other shift now. Trying to get that tying goal. He knows how important that next one will be for his hockey club. Then if they want to stay in this series.
You know, Peter, it doesn't seem like we've seen the Greer line as much in this third period. And I think that they've been great tonight. Here's Yell after a loose puck. Now to center, Fitzgerald with Lacroix and Yell, and back in it goes behind Joseph. 3:15 to go. Niedema to center ice. Gets by one guy, now looks for a shot, takes it, and clipped by Aaron Miller and over the board.
And that's what you're going to see. Niemana, who missed game 2 of this series, has bounced back. John, when you watch this kid play, you got to wonder about that trade with Philadelphia. This is a good, young defenseman with all the offensive tools. He's big, 6'2", 220 pounds.
Made the all-rookie team last year with 44 points, was plus 12. And as you said, only 22 years of age.
And the core of this Edmonton club is young and is very good. Are they going to be able to keep 2 key parts, though? Joseph and Wade. Joseph's unrestricted free agent. Wade is a restricted free agent. There's Glenn Stay. The man will have to make those decisions.
3 minutes to go in the third. 2-1 for the Avalanche. Niedema at his own line for Greg DeVries. Rolls it in, put the first man back, and around the boards. Waite cuts it off. He's surrounded by 3 Avalanche players, and the Avs get it out. Sakic now to Reichel. Hasn't seen a lot of ice time in the third, and shovels it in deep.
That was a good, smart play by Reichel. He didn't just dump it. He waited till he got over the center ice line so there'd be no icing.
Now, foot on the right point. That shot was wide. And Niedema gets it to DeVries. 2:25 to go. Forsberg just on the ice. Had it knocked down. And Kieran with it. The shot was off a leg to hit Gusarov. And goes to Lemieux in the corner. He turns with some time. And to center ice. Now Mironov for Edmonton. Ryan Smith, the pass. But right to Gusarov. And again, the Avalanche clear it out. In come the Oilers. Here's Waite. Look out. The shot. Stick save by Waugh on Doug Waite. What a chance there. Now Lemieux knocks the puck off a Oiler player stick. Forsberg into the corner. Gets away from Hammerluck. Falls down. In front. Saved by Joseph. Oh, he nearly stuffed it in the top corner. On the short side, 1:40 to go in regulation. The Avs nursing a 1-goal lead. Trying to take a 3-1 lead. And LeFay whacks it off the boards. Here's DeVries at center, now into Waite. In the slot, a drive. Saved by Waugh! And the rebound taken by Sakic. And out he goes. A couple of good chances for the Oilers in the last 2 minutes. Here's DeVries. Into Niedema. DeVries to a sharp angle. Plays it to the far corner. Now Greer down low to Lindgren. Tied up by Yale. Murray in front. Saved by Waugh. And a whistle with 1:01 to go.
Just great action, John. I mean, everybody's so concerned about being in the right position, doing the right thing. And Patrick Waugh, Edmonton had their chance. It looked like Greer was open in front of the net. A line we haven't seen much of here in this third period. Greer was open. He's a big man trying to bull his way through. But Patrick stands his ground. We talked about Joseph having his best game. This is Patrick Waugh's best game of these playoffs. Here's the one before. Just driving towards the net. And Patrick Waugh knows. As we mentioned, John, he's won 19 playoff series. And when you do that, you know how to end things. You know which games, which periods, which moments are important in hockey games.
Well, Ron Lowe has called his 32nd timeout. And you just know he's going to pull Joseph with 1:01 to go.
Little update from it's 1-1 now, Detroit and Phoenix. The Red Wings hoping to tie that series.
And Joseph is on the bench. The face-off to the right of Waugh.
For the Avalanche, Gusarov foot. Forsberg, Yell, Fitzgerald. John, three center icemen, or three guys that can take faceoffs. Yell and Forsberg certainly, and Fitzgerald takes a lot of draws. So Mark Crawford taking no chances. Three guys that can take draws.
For Edmonton, Doug Wade at center. Also up front, Guerin, McCammon, and Smith, Mironov, and Niedema, the point men. 6 attackers. 1:01 to go. The Avalanche leading 2-1. And Forsberg will take it. He won 10 of 16 faceoffs in the first 2 periods. Forsberg against Wade. Wade gets it back. In comes Niedema. Now back of the goal to Ryan Smith. Chipped away by Fitzgerald. Niedema knocked down. And Adam Foote gets it. Fitzgerald tried to clear it. A shot from the line was blocked in front by Foote. Fitzgerald again in the corner. Now Smith tried to center. Oh, Fitzgerald, a great play. And he gets it off the glass and down the ice. 35 to go. The net is empty. The Oilers did a miracle here in the last 30 seconds. Mironov ahead to McCammon. Blocked at center by Forsberg. He shoots. He scores! Forsberg has done it again. And the Avalanche will take a 3-1 lead in the series.
He tried the dangerous play, John. You have to. You're down. But that cross-ice pass all the way across. And I don't think there's anybody in this game right now, hockey, that reads the play better than Peter Forsberg. Forsberg just sat back in the weeds, steps up, picks it off, and dumps it into the empty net. I mean, just a perfect read. And again, credit Fitzgerald. He pressured Mironov. And Forsberg just read it, stepped in front, and picked up his 3rd point of the night.
And that will send Crawford and the Avalanche back to Denver with a 3-1 lead. Forsberg with 2 goals and an assist in the game. Joseph is back in. 20 seconds to go. Forsberg 6th of the series at 19:35 unassisted. As Aaron Miller has it in the corner. Now centered through the slot. Greer on the wing. Oh, tipped by Zelepukin just wide. 3 to go. And that is going to do it. The Avalanche with a 3-1 lead in the series thanks to a 3-1 victory, thanks to a 3-point night by Forsberg.
And thanks to a game-winning goal by Claude Lemieux. His 73rd of his career, and Patrick Roy picks up win number 99. He's 1 away from becoming the first goaltender in history to have 100 playoff victories. And John, again, for Edmonton, it's got to be a frustrating night. They play well, they play hard. Joseph has his best game, but the Avalanche Stars pick up the goals as Forsberg gets a couple. Lemieux, Roy has a great game. It was all there for the Avalanche tonight, and they took care of what they had to do.
Again, Edmonton left nothing on the ice tonight. They played a strong game. A break here. Missed shot there. They could have won it, but the Avalanche win it. The final score tonight, Colorado 3, Edmonton 1. Driscoll and Dan Shakti are the linesmen, and we are underway in Game 5. Forsberg, Lemieux, and Kamensky against Zelepukin, Murray, and Mike Greer. As the puck comes to Sandis Ozolic. He carries into the Edmonton zone for Forsberg. He's tied up by Murray, now back on the line, but Zelepukin there. Greer down the right wing side, and it's over his stick. Now he drops it off. In front, Niedema! And he was stopped by Forsberg on a diving play. Niedema was alone, and Forsberg came out of nowhere to make a great play. 50 gone in the first period, no score. As Foote has it in his own line. Too far for Eric Lacroix and shoveled over the boards at the Avalanche bench.
John, our keys for tonight's game for the Avalanche. Put them away. Do not give them any life in this series. You got them down, beat them. Early lead for either club is going to be so important in tonight's game. And for Edmonton, if they want to win this series, they're going to have to stop the Stars. Sakic, Forsberg, Ozolic, Lemieux, and figure out some way to beat Patrick Roy if they want to win this game tonight.
The Forsberg line has 22 points in the series.
And remember, coming back from Edmonton now for the coaches, the Colorado Avalanche get last change. Edmonton has to put their line on the ice, and then Mark Crawford gets to look and see and make the matchups that he wants.
Crawford has Sakic at center here. Oh, Mironov from center ice. That shot was wide. Now picked up by Guerin. He's on with Doug Waite. Then Ryan Smith. This is Waite back to the goal. With some time in front. Guerin gets it. And Waugh made the save. He was down. And the Avalanche clear it down the ice. And Roman and Hammerlick back. On to Smith now for Waite. And into the Avalanche zone it goes. Kucherov tries the far side. He gets Kamensky loose at center. And Forsberg has to wait. Great pass into Lemieux. Oh, he had it bounce over his stick, or he would have been in 2-on-1 with Kucherov. And Foot controls it in deep for the Avalanche. And now play to center by Kamensky. Niedema spins away from the forechecking of Forsberg. Now on to Tony Herkis. Rogers gets back for the Avalanche. And taken by Warren Reichel. He's played very well in this series, and he lobs it in too high, and it goes out of play.
Well, for Curtis Joseph, he knows that he has to come up with a big performance here tonight. He was very good in Game 4. That was his best game. It was Patrick Waugh's best game. And it was the best played game of this series. But he still lost. He has to find a way to beat the Avalanche in tonight's game. For Patrick Waugh, he sits with 99 playoff victories, looking to wrap this series up and grab number 100 in his career.
Now Marchand at center ice for Edmonton between McCammon and Fraser against Sakic. Jones and Denmarsh. 33-year-old Frank Lucille. Can't clear it. Sakic back to the goal. Bumps with Niedema. Now Jones in there. Sakic pushes the Oiler player off the puck. Now in front. And kept in by Lefebvre. A backhander block. And the Oilers to center. The rookie Scott Fraser. No points in the series for Fraser after ending the season with 10 points in his last 6 games.
He was the Rookie of the Month the last 2 months of the season. But again, playoffs are just a different time of the year for any rookie.
And the puck goes in on Waugh. For Miller ahead to Lemieux. Now to Forsberg. Ducks by the Mironov check. Lemieux charges in against Herkis. Herkis trying to clear it. Kozlink left point. Doesn't shoot it. Walks around Buchberger. Lets it go, and that was wide. Lemieux tried for the tip-in, but missed it. And Mats Lindgren taps it down the ice. Here's Buchberger in first for the Oilers. But Lemieux on the wing, near the line.